Jalen, today we're going to learn how to shoot a free throw like a professional basketball player. A couple things to listen for are smooth, elbow, follow through, and the acronym BEEF. Free throws are very important to the game of basketball. It can either make or break a game. This is what a free throw looks like. So there's about 10 easy steps to perfect your free throw. First, you're going to need a regulation size ball, an open gym, and a basketball hoop. To note, becoming a successful free throw shooter always depends on shooting in a consistent manner. This makes it very important to have a ball that's regulated to your age. You don't have it too big or too small, or else your free throw will not be effective. The second step is to find the center mark of the basketball. Usually on hardwood floors, there'll be a small nail in the middle that indicates the center of the basketball hoop. In this case, we're not on a hardwood floor, it's a rubber surface. So you're just gonna find the best spot on the basketball hoop that is the center and allows you to have an effective free throw. So after you found the middle line of the basketball hoop to shoot your free throw, then the next step, the third step, is to walk up to the foul line. So when you're walking up, you want your feet about shoulder width apart, and your dominant foot is always going to be placed forward. So if you're a righty, my right foot's going to be placed forward. If you're a lefty, my left foot's going to be placed forward. So once your dominant foot is forward, the next step is your opposite foot is going to be about a few inches back. It's very important to keep your feet shoulder width apart so you have a good base. On step 3, the most important thing to know besides your feet being shoulder width apart and being balanced is your feet should be about 1 inch to 2 inches behind the free throw line, because that allows you for mistakes. Say you shoot it and you step forward, you're not going to step on the line. If you step on the line, it's a violation and the basket won't count. So make sure your feet are at least 1 inch to 2 inches behind the free throw line to allow for any errors and mistakes to occur so you don't step on the line. Another thing that's really important is balance, and there's a shooting acronym called BEEF, and that's what the B means. It means balance. So it's very important to keep your feet shoulder width apart, and the back foot has to be 1 inch back, because as you follow through in your shot, you're going to be on your toes, and that having your foot 1 inch back allows you to keep that balance. Step 4 is your pre-foul shot shooting routine. The things to focus on with this is just deep breaths and being very consistent with your breaths, so you're calm and collected. There's no specific shooting routine, everyone's is different. So mine, when I played basketball, was I would line up, 2 dribbles, spin, dribble, get to my foul shot. But every routine's different, it's just whatever helps you make the foul shot win. One note about your pre-foul shot routine, it should be in between 2 to 4 seconds, because you really only have 10 seconds to shoot a foul shot. Step 5 is finger placement. So when you're shooting a foul shot, you want your middle finger in the seam of the ball. This is the seam right here, so your middle finger should be in that groove, and the rest of your fingers should be evenly proportioned throughout the ball and spread out. Your opposite hand, or your non-dominant hand, is a guide to the ball, so it should be located on the side. You don't want your fingers too close, and you don't want your fingers too spread out. It'll affect your foul shot. Step 6, so when you're at the free throw line, your base is good, your foot's back, you have your good hand placement. Now we're going to talk about the bending of the knees. When you shoot your foul shot, you want to have a slight bend in the knees. A note is shorter players usually have a bigger bend in the knees, because a bigger bend in the knees creates more power and allows you to lift the ball up a little more. Taller players have less bend because they're so tall that they don't need a lot of power to get the ball up. So once you're set, hands are in a good position, middle fingers in the groove, fingers are spread out, I'm going to have a slight bend in the knees to start my foul shot. Step 7, we're going to work on the shooting position of the basketball. So we're up to the line, feet are spread once again, have good hand placement. The most important thing about the shooting position, 1, the ball's gonna be at our face. You wanna bring the ball up to your face. 2, it's elbow. Elbow is probably the most important thing to your free throw shot. You want to keep the elbow in tight and about 90 degrees. If it's out too far, it's going to affect your shot and push the ball in different directions. So you want to keep the elbow tight, ball into the face, slight bend of the knees, and as you're about to shoot, you want the ball to come off your palm and almost roll into your fingertips. The ball should not be stuck to your palm. You're coming up, and the ball's reaching your fingertips, and your outside, your non-dominant hand is just a guide for the ball. That's one thing to know. Your non-dominant hand is not doing any of the work. All the work is done in your dominant hand, being 90 degrees to allow you to push off, have a very accurate and perfect shot. So for our shooting beef acronym, as I stated before, B is for balance. E, the first E in it, is for elbow. Elbow is very important. Keep the elbow very tight, 90 degrees, to allow you for that perfect shot. One. Step 8 is focusing on your target. So, as we said before, the BEEF acronym, the second E in BEEF stands for eye. So when you're shooting a free throw, you want to find the target of the rim, look at it to allow you to have an effective free throw shot. What I would note is most basketball players look at the back of the rim and the center hook. That's what they target. They keep their eye on the target and they focus on that during their whole free throw shot. So as they focus on that, that's what's going to give them the best chance of making the basket. So the fourth and final step of our shooting acronym of BEEF is follow through. Follow through is probably the most important part of your free throw shot. If you don't have an effective follow through, the ball will not go into the basket. So how do we shoot the basketball? So we learned placement of our feet, shoulder apart, walk up to the line, dominant foot forward, non-dominant foot, push back, slight bend of the knees. The ball's, my middle finger is in the groove, the ball, my other fingers are spread out throughout the ball. So the shooting motion, right? Our position, we learned that, the ball's at our face. As we begin to shoot, our knees become unbent. The ball is raising up above our head. It's releasing, the ball's coming off our palm onto our fingers, and we're gonna flip our wrist, right? So we're here, ball to the face, knees come unbent, ball comes from our head, flip the wrist. An important thing with our follow through, you wanna make sure the palm of your hand is facing down the ground. If it's staying up, that's where the ball is gonna go. So you want the ball to be spinning. So to have an effective follow through, hand up, release out the palm onto the fingers, and flick, so the palm of your hand is facing down to the ground. So to practice your free throws, it's all about repetition and repetition. An average, very high-leveled high school basketball player would probably shoot 250 free throws throughout the week, so you have to space out your time for about 2 hours. If you're at a younger age, they recommend to shoot about 30 free throws after your practices just to get that motion down and for you to feel comfortable with your routine and get your confidence up while shooting a free throw. Mike, good follow through. Only thing I'd recommend, make sure that elbow is in a little tighter. It was bowed out a little bit, which caused the ball to drift a little bit to the left. Good job, good follow through. Good adjustment, Mike. Good shot. Just make sure that back foot is a little more straight. It was bent out a little bit, and maybe it could have affected your free throw. There. Jack didn't have a good enough follow through. His hand almost went out to the side like that. You want to make sure that that palm is following through and facing the bottom of the court. Right there, Mike had a good follow through, but not, even though it went in, there wasn't enough bend in the legs, but still a good basket, Mike. Good adjustments, Jack, and the ball went straight in the net. Good job, Mike. Mike and Jack can have a little competition of knockout As a basketball player, this is probably one of the most fun games you can play growing up, and to test your foul shot abilities while under pressure, because in-game foul shots are a lot of the time are going to be under pressure. So you have to stay focused, remember your fundamentals, and make the shot. So how this game works is Mike is going to shoot first, and the second guy is trying to make the ball before Mike makes it, and he's going to be out if he does. We'll play 2 outs, so if whoever gets 2 outs first will win the competition. Make sure to work on those fundamentals, stay poised. Good follow through, good feet position. Good shot, Mike, good follow through. Way to keep the elbow tight. Make sure your feet are not on the line. All right, so to review the foul shot, what we learned today, is how to become an effective pro free throw shooter. And we did that in 10 steps. We learned about the BEEF acronym. B stands for balance, first E stands for elbow, second E stands for eye, and the F stands for follow through. We learned how to find the median of the line, the middle of the line to line up with the basket, that our dominant foot should always be first and up front. Our non-dominant foot should be an inch back. It should be shoulder width apart. Our feet should be an inch behind the free throw line, so we don't step on the line to cause a violation. We learned our shooting position. The ball is up against our face. Our elbow is 90 degrees. Our middle finger is in the groove of the ball. The rest of our fingers are spread out evenly to cover the surface of the ball. Our non-dominant hand is just there as a guide. It's not doing anything to push the ball. Our shooting position and how we shoot the basketball. Knees are bent. As we come up, they come unbent. Ball leaves the palm, goes onto the fingertips. Our hands are fully extended, and we follow through. Keeping our eye on the back of the rim, the center hook, to allow for an effective free throw shot. Thank you.